Welcome back to another edition of the Navy Sports Magazine. Time to check in with men's tennis with Walker Sims. And for you and your teammates so far, what has this spring brought for you all, and still some things to accomplish as this season continues?
We've had several good wins. We beat Citadel down in South Carolina. Um, we beat a good Bucknell team last week, and so right now we're kind of really focusing on this Army N-Star match. Try to get some good momentum going into the Patriot League tournament, and but right now the Army men's tennis is our focus.
I was going to say, nobody has to remind you during the course of the week who you're playing. But how does that change? Does it change preparation, or do you block a lot of that stuff out and do the things physically and mentally that you all have to get prepared for to win coming up on Saturday?
Right now we're trying to follow our normal rituals, not change a whole lot. We in terms of preparation, mental preparation, physical preparation, we're going to treat it just like another match. We're going to do the same things beforehand that we do. We're going to practice the same way, and anytime we put on the Navy men's tennis, we go and we give 100%.
I was going to say too. I mean, you all have developed some success. You've developed your brand, and when you go up against Army, you've quickly learned. Even though you've only been here a couple of seasons now, you've quickly learned what that means. What would it mean for you all to accomplish a star victory and join several other teams who have already done that here on the yard this year?
Well, obviously it would be it would really crystallize our season, and it would be the culmination of everything that we've worked for. We've put in a lot of work in the off season, and throughout the year we've really bonded together. And every practice we've sacrificed a lot for the team. Every single person has, and so to beat Army would really solidify the season.
Take me inside what the off season. You mentioned the off season there, putting in that work. What is that work like for you and your tennis teammates?
It consists of extra weightlifting and practice, and just coming out and hitting balls on our own personally, and keeping the tennis focused even when it's in the off season. But a lot of fitness in the off season.
I was going to say fitness would certainly be a prime thing in the sport of tennis. What is the fitness portion like? What is that like? Because I'm sure at times, athletes are worried about, am I lifting too many weights? Am I not running enough to where it might hurt you during the course of the season if you do run too much? Where's that fine line from a conditioning standpoint to try and make sure you're at peak fitness, and obviously through the course of a long, grueling season to maintain that fitness?
Well, obviously before the season we want to try to be in as good a shape as possible, and so we would do calisthenics twice a week and agility, sprints and lifts, and during the season we have lifts twice a week and agility and sprints twice a week. So we kind of tone it back a little bit less in the season. We do some more weightlifting in the off season, but overall it's a mix of agility, sprint work, calisthenics, and weights.
Whether you're playing singles or doubles, unless you've played a player or a combination of players before, what is the preparation like going into a match, especially if you're going into a match where you don't necessarily know who the competition might be, where essentially you, and if you're playing doubles, a teammate might have to make some adjustments on the fly during the course of a match?
Yes, definitely. Most of the time you don't know. We don't know exactly who we'll be playing necessarily. We have a general idea of the lineups, but the lineups can change at any moment. So going into a match, usually throughout the year, we have to come up with a game plan while we are playing, essentially, because there's no warm-up in singles. So if you play them in doubles, usually we have a meeting and the coach gives some pointers. But a lot of it is being able to be flexible and adapting on the court, and just finding what works for you and what doesn't work, and changing your game plan to achieve the greatest probability of winning.
In singles, it's pretty explanatory. It's you and every man for himself. What's the key to being a good doubles player?
A lot of it is communication and energy. Communication with your partner and energy is and tactics. I'd say those are the three main things. And that includes having a game plan before the point starts out, knowing your partner, and making sure you're always on your toes, always on your feet, because it's just a 6-game set, and so a lot of it is based on momentum. So if you can get the momentum going in your favor, you can close it out quickly. And if you let the momentum slip by, then it can lead to failure. But energy and communication with your partner.
I was going to say, during the course of a season, if you're lucky enough to stay with the same partner, does that almost become instinctual as opposed to, each match having to do, a lot of communication? You almost have that innate communication, silent communication between you because you're so familiar with each other?
Mm-hmm. Somewhat. I think everybody on the Navy men's tennis team we have played with a number of times. Obviously, I've played with Christian Jana quite a bit,
Mm-hmm.
so I've gotten used to his game. But in practice, we mix it up quite a bit. And so all of us know the basic games of everybody on our team, the basic styles.
You guys have a tremendous outdoor facility here, and you've got a tremendous indoor facility here. How much does that help in preparation, just having the kind of facilities that are necessary to help you be a better player?
Well, obviously, it's kind of just one thing off your mind. Not many schools in the country have such great indoor facilities like the Navy, so we don't have to worry about will we be able to practice today, will we have to squeegee the courts, which I know from juniors that can be hours
Sure.
upon hours, and so at the academy you have so much on your plate every day, you have so much to worry about that one thing off your mind that I will be playing tennis. It might not be outside, it might be inside, but I'll have a place. It's a tremendous advantage, I think.
How does a guy mix tennis and wrestling as a high school athlete?
Well, I love to compete. I love. They're both very require a great deal of mental toughness and strategy, and so, and they're both physical in different ways. Tennis requires a lot more mental endurance.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of the length of the match is usually going to be 2 hours around to 2.5, and so. But even though you would think wrestling would be very on the polar opposite end in terms of physicality, I think they do share a lot of similarities, in my opinion, in terms of the individual nature of the sport and just the individual tenacity that it requires.
I was going to say, no doubt, you're not calling time out in the middle of it and putting in a sub. It's just you. And now the final question is, Mom played at Vanderbilt. How long did it take you to beat your mom in a set of tennis?
I've never beaten my mom in tennis.
That's amazing. Still hitting it well?
She's still hitting it well. She beat me the last time when I was in 6th grade, and then we haven't played again since then.
You gotta take the challenge. Get her to come back out there. Tell her to put her undefeated record on the line. Mm-hmm. We'll have to broker that deal. Mom played at Vanderbilt, so she played at a very high level. Appreciate the time. Best of luck to you and your teammates as you all get set to take on the Black Knights.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Walker Sims joining us here. Mids and Army coming up this weekend, as always. For more information about the Navy men's tennis team, like all 33 varsity sports here at the Academy, go to www.navysports.com.